This podcast is part of the Famous Original Podcast Network family. You can find us by going to www.fopnet.biz.
All over. It contains strong language, strong opinions, and strong beers. It is not meant for children or for those who think they are children. You know who you are.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.
Welcome to episode 111 of Dumb All Over. Recording from the state so foul that even Colonel Sanders doesn't want it, Pennsylvania. Get it? Like a chicken? And the not-so-secret lair in New York. This is a progressive podcast with brash opinions on politics, religion, and pop culture. And we're under the influence, but not of craft beer. As always, I am Tom. Sometimes. That's typically what I go by, is Tom.
Oh, okay.
It's sometimes other stuff. But I'm not going to go into detail, Austin, because you are Austin!
Hey.
Hi, Austin.
What do you mean you're not going to go into detail? You're going to leave us all hanging?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you like my Colonel Sanders
I
joke?
did, yeah. Although,
Foul.
as soon as you, it was mildly clever. And but the thing is, as soon as you said Colonel Sanders, all I could think of was Glenn Beck.
I know. Yeah, what's up with that? That's a weird look for him.
Yeah, he's in his Colonel Sanders cosplay, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
actually looks like Colonel Sanders. It's a little bit weird. It's a little weird.
Now I'm done talking about politics. Let me talk to you about my herbs and spices.
By the way, I have a little bit left of this, so I'm going to go ahead and...
Ooh, nice.
The biggest bottle of wine I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, then you've never had dinner with my uncle, who has a jug of wine.
Oh, yeah?
Because he's too cheap to buy good wine.
Oh, is it like box wine?
Yeah, but in a jug.
In a jug. A jug of box
jug wine.
That sounds terrible.
That just sounds like, it's like rednecks come home. Like, Mary, I got us a jug of wine. I didn't even know you could get wine in a jug.
Me neither. Let's start before we get into the news and all that shit. Joe Stio, our good friend Joe, who we have neglected as far as giving band names for all these months that we've kind of gone AWOL.
Yeah, that's because we've neglected a lot of things.
Right. He actually took the Hickenlooper joke from the last episode and made a cover band. So Hickenlooper, the John Denver cover band, is what he said. And he said he actually had to do research on this. So go ahead and elaborate, if you will.
No, it's interesting because John Willis of the Wayward Willis podcast, he said that it should be a Skrillex cover band.
Oh, that's right.
So they went in two totally different directions.
Oh, yeah. Hickenlooper, it has to be a Skrillex cover band. Skrillex.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a little, okay, guys.
Totally different direction. I thought that was very interesting. And I can see why they each picked it.
I can't see the Skrillex thing.
Oh, because he uses a lot of loops in his music.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You see, that's a technical thing.
Yeah.
I would have never have gotten that.
Yeah, so you have that, looking at the actual technological musical aspect. And then you have Joe, who's Hickenlooper just sounds like an old-timey redneck name.
Yeah, no, that one I got.
He's like John Denver,
so
I could totally see where they're both coming from.
But he said he had to do research to get this one. So I'm
probably because he
wondering...
didn't know who John Hickenlooper was.
Oh, I still don't.
Yeah. I'm not sure John's his first name either. But the fact that you don't go... means that it doesn't really matter.
We were just talking about the presidential candidates and all that before the show started, and we completely forgot to mention him.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about the lesser known candidates. Yeah,
I feel
he's so lesser known. We don't even know who he is.
You could do with his first name the same thing that John Oliver does with the countries that you don't know. He's like, now Venezuela. And you know so little about Venezuela, you didn't even realize that that's not Venezuela. That's Honduras.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
And I feel like we could do the same thing with Hickenlooper's first name. Bill Hickenlooper. See,
So
and you
I
didn't even
just-
know his first name's not Bill.
I just looked up a picture of him for the first time. It is John, by the way, John
I was right.
Hickenlooper,
Okay.
former governor of Colorado. I've never seen this man's face before.
Okay.
Nah,
So,
I've never seen him.
Now you have.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
not my cup of tea.
unfortunately. Boy, he's going to be so sad.
Oh
about
yeah, he'll
that.
be so heartbroken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, actually, we shouldn't mess with him because he's one of the few presidential candidates that might actually come on our show because no one else is going to ask him to come on the show. But we're not.
What
Going
are we going to
on the
ask
show.
him?
How's life being a centrist? Oh, speaking of being a centrist, I guess I should make this announcement now because this is an
Oh, yeah.
important
This is
one.
going to make everybody sad, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, but I spoke to my advisor at school, and he suggested that I get that I add a minor into my major. So my major is history, and we looked at the list of minors, and the only one that made sense to me was political science. So I hate to say this, but I guess I'm a centrist now because I think you have to be a centrist to be in the political science field.
I think so. Well, it was nice.
Now, granted, it's my minor, not major.
Well, it was nice knowing Progressive Tom. And now Centrist Tom will be arguing with me for the whole show.
I will.
Yeah.
I will
So
not.
Tom will be like, what about like American Medicare, Medicare for America? It's
Whoa, whoa,
like
whoa, whoa.
Medicare for all.
No.
but-
We have to repair Obamacare and just make it affordable. Not free, you commie. It's got to be, who's going to pay for it? Right?
Okay.
Who's going to pay for it? Who's going to pay for it? You know what I mean?
Okay, first of all, if you're,
Who's going to pay for
if you're
it?
going to be
No one's going to pay for it.
if you're going to be a centrist, you have to learn how to say that less aggressive because they don't have a soul. So you have to see what that's like first. Also, we're opening up submissions for a new co-host. So
But I don't know how to say things with less aggression. I just don't think I know how to.
I'm trying.
As you hold up your vape pen. That's enough. All right, let's get into the news. All right, let's start off with the worst news that's ever happened in the history of this show. I am just disgusted, and I feel betrayed, and I'm glad I'm a centrist now because I can just vote for
Shit,
Kamala
I feel
Harris.
like I'm missing something.
Yeah, you are. How do you not know this? Bernie is a millionaire now. It's over. It's over. We can't support him. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
Money.
Oh.
That's might have been what we're talking about. That's okay. Okay. Well, there's your free Austin Cologne concert, everybody. Normally you have
Hashtag
to
free
pay,
Austin.
like, yeah, free Austin. It's almost like Free Willy, but
Keep
it's
Austin
a music
weird.
version. That might be easy to do.
That's also already a bumper sticker, and I want to get it so bad.
Oh, you should
Because-
you need to.
'cause it's
Well,
a-
you don't have a car.
Well, that's true.
You don't have a car anymore.
I'll stick it on the subway.
You're a fucking city dweller now, you know? All right.
Ooh.
So let's talk about this. This is really important. Ow! I just hit my hand so hard on the desk. Ow.
Yeah, he's not used to his hand hitting down on the desk. It's usually up.
No. What? Oh. True. I have like a callus on the top part of my hand.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. And the palm, but that's just for grip. Bernie Sanders is now a millionaire, says the New York Times, who gave him a best-selling book. Because, they call it the New York Times best-selling novel. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. And that's the reason why he's a millionaire. But we forgot that part about the article. I hate the New York Times.
Yeah, I know.
I hate him. I hate him. The more I learn about them, the more I hate him. But that's the title of the article. Bernie Sanders, now a millionaire, pledges to release his tax returns
but he's
by
not.
Monday.
He's not now a millionaire. He's been a millionaire.
No. He's now a millionaire.
But he's been a millionaire.
Nope. He's a millionaire as of...
And we
when was this
already all
article
knew
posted?
this.
April 9th was when this article was posted, so he became a millionaire
Because
right there.
it said in an article like a while ago, like right after the election, it said that he was given an $800,000 advance to write his next book.
Yeah, so he's a millionaire.
Yes, because if you combine that with his
Well, we
Senate
can't
salary,
support him, Austin. You're missing the point. We can't support him anymore because now he's a hypocrite, right? Right? He's always talking about taxing the millionaires, and wait, he still wants to tax the millionaires? But he's a millionaire. Why would you tax yourself?
Tom, who would you
because-
say was the best president on progressive economic policy, maybe in our history?
Barack Obama, guaranteed.
Sorry.
I think you're looking for an FDR.
I am.
Yeah.
How much money did he have?
Billions, trillions.
I don't think he had trillions. I don't even.
He had $1 billion before Jeff Bezos.
Maybe. But I don't know. He might have been a billionaire if you adjust for inflation.
Might have been, yeah.
I'm not sure. I just know he had a fuck ton of money. And guess what?
He did.
His taxes were very high.
I bet.
His top marginal tax rate was in the 90 percentile. So,
well,
and
obviously,
also he's the one who drafted the Great New Deal.
that's debatable.
Did you?
That might have been Clinton.
Did you see what I did there?
No, I'm sorry, I spaced out. What?
Well, I just like I like mixing up the word like they do with the Green New Deal because they can never remember what it's called.
Oh, what you call it?
Huh?
I missed
the Great
it.
New Deal.
Oh, the Great New Deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess if you put a space in it, that actually is true. It's the
New Great Deal.
The New Great Deal. Yeah.
The New Great
The
Deal.
New Great Deal.
The New Green Great Deal.
But I just
Great
don't get how
Deal.
like it's like inspired by the New Deal,
Right.
and it's green. How is that hard to remember?
Because it's the New Deal green.
The New Green Deal.
The Green Deal New.
The Green Deal New.
Fuck.
Yeah. It's
The
like
formerly known as Great New Gig in the Sky.
it's like I don't. It's anyway. We're so getting off topic.
No. Yeah, this is not what we're talking about. But what we are talking about is the hypocrite Bernie Sanders. That's what we're talking about. All right, but for real, he's a millionaire because he wrote a best-selling book. A couple best-selling books, I believe, but the one particular, Our Revolution, was the one that really generated him a lot of money. But as Austin and I have discussed off air, he's still one of like the top 5 or the bottom 5 paid senators in all of
The
Washington.
Senate,
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
So this is such nonsense, and the fact that the New York Times posts this article with that title, Bernie Sanders now a millionaire, obviously just an attempt to smear him, as to try to say, oh, he's a hypocrite. Are you really a hypocrite if you are a millionaire, but you're still taxed, or you're still talking about taxing
does he still have
millionaires
to
and
pay
billionaires?
taxes?
Yeah,
Okay.
and not only that, but he wants to raise the taxes for the millionaire class.
I know, but that's my point. So
It's so crazy.
So he's going to pay the taxes that he's proposing be paid.
Right. And then the other part of the news article is that he's going to be releasing his taxes on Monday, April 15th, tax day. And he's going to be releasing up to 10 years of taxes on that day. So hopefully that'll squash it, end that conversation. Now that maybe that's why it took so long. Maybe he was afraid of the backlash that would come of this.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe because I don't think there's anything else in there. I remember we were talking about this, like we were a little worried, or I was at least a little bit worried. Of what was in taxes? Why not release them earlier?
But
now that that's out, all of a sudden he's like, you know what? It's just like coming out of the closet. It's like once you tell one person, it's like, oh, now I'm going to tell the rest of people because it doesn't matter anymore. And who cares if he's a millionaire? He never took a vow of poverty. He didn't like to enter the Senate saying,
But the
I'm
thing
going to
is,
be
this
poor
was
for the rest of
already
my
known.
life.
That's what really bugs. Like, we all already knew this.
Right.
If you knew anything about him, you already knew he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why this is. This is just like the whole Joe Biden thing. Like, we all knew that he's like that.
Right. It's idiotic. It's like
And the
fact
Michael
that,
Jackson thing too. I don't get like. It's like, oh my god!
Why it's a surprise that he touched little boys
we
now?
know.
Yeah.
We all knew this. This is not new information.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid. But listen, I don't think it's not going to matter to at least the Bernie supporters. If anything, does this not like represent what America's supposed to be about? You know, a son of immigrants making his way the old-fashioned way by hard work and becoming a millionaire. Isn't that like you started almost in poverty and now you're a millionaire?
No.
But he's also 86 or 87 years old, whatever his age is. So it's not like he's been a millionaire for all these years.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it. I just don't understand it. But I guess it's any attempt to try to take away any power from him. Yeah. Meanwhile, Joe Biden continues to get more shit thrown at him and he's becoming more popular.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with this country?
I don't know. I was thinking that earlier. That was a thought that passed through my mind. It's like trying to make this country a better place is almost not worth it because they just seem so resistant to the idea of being better.
But you know what we could do, Austin?
What?
We can move to the UK because they have no issues going on. Ugh. Well, something else happened in the UK that is actually not related to Brexit, believe it or not. I know. We're covering world news right now without Steven's permission, so I hope he's not mad.
We're going to get a cease and desist letter.
We might. But this is kind of a big story, and one that I don't think we've ever talked about on the show, despite the fact that he's been in the public eye for many years now. Julian Assange was arrested in the UK. Apparently, Theresa May submitted an order for his arrest.
And Ecuador gave him up.
Yeah. I guess it was in the UK embassy.
No, it was the Ecuadorian embassy in the UK.
Ecuadorian embassy in London. Okay.
The UK doesn't need its own embassy in their own country. They already have parliament.
True. Sort of. Let's see. A couple notes from Business Insider here. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange was dramatically arrested and carried out of the Ecuadorian embassy in London on Thursday. British and Ecuadorian authorities engineered the timing and nature of the raid to stop Assange from accessing a panic button he mentioned in the past, Ecuador's foreign minister said. Specifics on the button or what it might do are sparse, but the foreign minister said Assange had said it could bring dire consequences for Ecuador. Ecuadorian officials have accused Assange of accessing the government's security files, playing music loudly, and having no regard for personal hygiene during his stay at the embassy. That last part gets me pretty good.
That's funny. Yeah.
Playing music loudly, and he's just smelly, and that's why we arrested you. So because you smell.
Yeah, but that's no different than hosting a teenager.
Yeah, I guess so. Right. It's funny to me how they get people on charges or cases that aren't associated to what they're famous for, like Capone. Capone's like the famous one. They got him on tax evasion, right? Who's a brutal mobster, but they got him on tax evasion. Assange, they got him for being stinky because he doesn't like to shower and he plays music too loud.
That's not actually what they arrested him for. They arrested him for skipping out on bail on his is that right? In a case where he was accused of rape, yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I guess the reason why I'm bringing this up, because other than it's the big news right now, but we have not talked about Julian Assange maybe more than twice in 2 years of the show.
No.
So and we've never talked about him outside of the show either, which sometimes we talk about subjects outside of the show, but we haven't done this one.
Life exists outside the show?
Not really. No. Not really, if we're being honest, but sometimes. What are your opinions on Julian Assange? Like, how do you feel about him in general?
Well, I like the idea of having a place where somebody will publish state secrets that, like, the knowledge of would benefit society.
Okay.
And I think they were doing a good job at that. His actions in the 2016 elections, I don't really know if I even have a full handle on what exactly he did, but it does seem less honest than usual.
Okay.
Like, it didn't seem like it seemed like he was definitely acting in his own interest, which is funny because at the time the Trump campaign liked WikiLeaks, and now the Trump campaign's like, or the Trump himself's like, I don't know what a WikiLeaks is, but you should probably get that taken care of. But Assange is an interesting figure, and then there's also the rape allegations, which are
right.
Yeah.
Which, every single time something like that has come up, we've always been, the first to say, yeah, talk to women. You know, the women have the right to state their beliefs, or not the beliefs, but their stories. But I almost wonder in this case, because I'm reading through the article and they mention the accused, the situation, but they don't mention the women involved. I don't know. They really wanted to get this guy.
They did want to get him, yeah.
Really
but
bad.
He also seems like an asshole.
Yeah, I would not put it.
So
yeah,
that's why it's
him.
a tougher. Like if they said Edward Snowden did that, then I would have been surprised.
Right.
But Julian Assange,
he
I'm like,
doesn't
I
seem
could
like
see that because he's kind of a jerk.
But yeah, so he's arrested. I don't really have an opinion on him. Like, there's a part of me that definitely likes the fact that, like, you know, releasing information and having that, you know, I'm a big X-Files fan. That was the whole thing about the X-Files, was the government was keeping secrets. And of course governments keep secrets. That's not even a conspiracy theory at this point. That's what governments do. You kind of, in a lot of ways, they almost have
that's
to.
what they do, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do. You have to as a government in a lot of ways.
But not the things they do. The problem is they cover up their mistakes, and that's what's so dangerous.
Right. So I really don't have much of an opinion on him. That's why I wanted to hear what you said, or what you had to say about him. So what do you think is going to happen to him now, or what should happen to him, Austin?
Well, what should happen is if it is true that it needs to stand trial for those rape allegations, I think the trial should go through. It should be a fair trial. Which,
agreed. Yep,
you know,
100%.
the thing is, though, when you've made a career out of making governments look bad,
yeah,
it is hard to
trial.
Yeah, I'm just not sure.
No, but I would like to see at least that separately.
Yeah. Separately,
take that separately.
But if they start bringing charges against him for his work, then that's a big deal.
It's gonna be a problem. I guess this is a bigger story than anything, because if they do the rape allegations and they cover just that, what do they do after that? Like, let's say he goes to jail and he goes to jail for 5-10 years or something like that. When he comes out, do they go after him for his work?
I don't think so, because if they do that, he'll be disgraced. There's no need to go after him.
That's true. All right, so there's Julian Assange. He's finally arrested after all these years. It's been a long time since he's been in the public eye.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who shouldn't be in the public eye, Donald Trump is in the news again. This one is about the transgender military policy. Mm-hmm. So if people remember, Trump's administration passed the transgender military ban. And that policy went into effect yesterday, so Friday of this week. This coming from NBC News, the article entitled "Trump's Controversial Transgender Military Policy Goes into Effect." There you go. 3 years after the Obama administration told transgender individuals that they could serve openly and have access to gender-affirming medical and psychological care, the Trump administration has reversed course. The Pentagon on Friday began to implement, not implementations. Remember that? That was old school.
I do remember that. Yes, very much.
A controversial new policy that critics say is essentially a, quote, don't ask, don't tell policy for trans service members. The policy is insidious in operation, but designed to be as comprehensive as a ban as possible. A report from nonpartisan Palm Center, which studies LGBTQ military issues, stated. So it's a ban without a ban, sort of.
Yeah,
but it's a weird thing. But they're pretty much they're taking away rights of transgender soldiers in our military.
Yeah.
And it's a disgraceful thing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And the thing is, it was entirely done for political reasons.
Well, exactly.
He's trying to score political points. Like, it doesn't save any money. It doesn't protect the military.
Which is bizarre to me, because there was a large portion. Well, let me rephrase that. There was a portion of the gay and LGBTQ community that did support Donald Trump. Like, there are, unfortunately, Austin, there are a lot.
I'm sorry,
who still
I live in a
support.
sane state, so I'm.
Yeah, but I don't, and I see the people who did vote for him, and a lot of them, for some odd reason, are transgender. Now we have our discussions with them about, like, how the hell are you a Trump supporter, especially now?
Yeah.
But at the time, it was a little bit different, and a lot of people thought that he would be an ally.
Why?
I have no idea, no fucking clue. What about that man told you that he was going to be an ally for gays, lesbians, and transgender?
Yeah.
What about that man told you that?
Nothing. I can't think of a single thing.
Same. Me neither.
He held the flag once.
And that was enough?
And then he
really
picked Mike Pence to be his running mate.
Yeah. Which we can joke about him being an in-the-closet gay man, but his policies...
What? Who's joking about that?
Okay. But his policies are extremely anti-LGBTQ. So you pick a vice presidential candidate who's that anti-LGBTQ, who supports conversion camps in his own state as governor, and you're going to say he's an ally?
No.
Get yourself checked.
No.
So it's not a ban, but it's kind of a ban, and it prohibits transgender individuals from getting medical treatment paid for by the military, which is a big problem. It's a big problem.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much. It's bigotry. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. And it's all to score points with his base, who are the most, insert group here phobic that you've ever seen, but especially transphobic. Like, they have a special place for they have a special place in their hearts for Mexicans and trans people.
Listen to this statement that Trump comes out with and says. Okay, so he was asked this question. He was asked a question on August 10th about this when the law was about to be enacted.
Go ahead, read it. I'm sure it's moving poetry.
It's very moving. Quote, "I have great respect for the community. I think I have great support, or I've had great support from that community. I got a lot of votes, but the military is working on it now. They're doing the work. It's been a very difficult situation. And I think I'm doing a lot of people a favor by coming out and just saying it. As you know, it's been a very complicated issue for the military. It's been a very confusing issue for the military. And I think I'm doing the military a great favor." What the fuck is that statement?
I have to admit, that was a very good impression of me.
Oh my God. I can't with that statement.
It says just what it says. Look, I had great
What did it say? Tell me what it said.
Get him out. Get him out. I had such great support.
I like that he said that, by the way. I like that he said, first he says, "I think I have great support," and then instantly cuts himself off.
People are saying,
or "I've had great support from the community." Yeah, no shit. You did. You did have support. Even if it's a little bit. You had support for the community, and then you do that.
I had support from, those people. And then, whatever. It's good now. I told the military, look, we're going to do the military. We're going to do the wall. We're going to make sure that there's no Mexicans or trans people anywhere near our precious, precious white men.
Crazy.
And things will be good. And we'll make America great again.
Let me say this. All right. If we have any transgender listeners, and if we have any transgender listeners who are in the military, if you
I'm so sorry.
I know. First of all, yeah, our apologies. And not that we voted for him or anything, but I almost feel like I just have to apologize for everything he does. But anybody who's willing to go into the military and risk their lives does not deserve that kind of treatment. You do not deserve to be treated like a second-class citizen when you are literally one of the few people in the world who are willing to go take a bullet for a country. Because guess who's not willing to take a bullet for a country? Me?
Yeah,
I assume you.
Me neither, no.
Yeah.
But I have flat feet, so they wouldn't take me anyway.
Yeah, me. I'm gay, so they probably won't take me for that, I guess.
Good point.
But
okay, so I got a couple strikes against me, whatever.
Yeah, a couple.
Whatever, if they bring back the draft, I'll be fine.
Oh, I know. Yeah, well, I'd go to Canada anyway, but it's just so upsetting.
We're not going to take
and there's
your
nothing
gas,
I can do about it. And there's nothing I can do about it, which makes it even more upsetting. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we were hoping that the courts would come down on the right side of this, and they didn't.
They didn't. Yeah.
And the thing is that might not even be, like, legally speaking, that might not even be the wrong choice, because I think the president technically does have the power to do this.
Commander-in-chief, I guess, right? It falls under those commander-in-chief policy or rules, I guess.
And boy, so often is the military used as And I don't mean like obviously the military and what they do is used all the time as a political chess, but like just the members themselves are so often used as a political tool to garner support from the base by Republican presidents because, you know, like Clinton did Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And then, of course, Bush tried everything to roll that back because he knew his base, like, no, we need to out the gays and get him out of here.
And then Don't Ask, Don't Tell is still fucked up in its own right. It's like you by the fact that you are just pointing out like, oh, if you're gay, just don't mention it. It's okay. Yeah. Just don't mention it. No, fuck you. Be who you are. And who cares?
The thing that,
if you're gay, you're gay. You're a soldier. I've spoken to former military or current military soldiers and even a corporal who had gay people in their command or in their I don't know military terms that well, but like in their group, in their posse,
their harem, military, if you will, their
harem. And they said,
guys,
that,
quit bathhousing around.
Some of them have been super conservative, and they said it doesn't matter when you are on the battlefield.
No,
if you are out there and somebody is fighting to save your life, doesn't matter if they're transgender. No. Doesn't matter if they were a guy and now they're a girl, or vice versa, or if you're gay or a lesbian. You're a brother or a sister. It's like, why can't it just be that all the time? Why does it just have to be in the military?
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
It's just frustrating. Sorry. It's just, at this point, we're just ranting.
I know.
But we have more because Trump's again in the news. And this one, oddly enough,
finally for talking about me.
I know.
This used to be my
now
whole
that we took the Trump
segment.
report.
Yeah.
We took the Trump report away. Now it's all Trump. This is the last one, though.
I really grabbed this segment by the pussy.
Ooh, not right now. I'm about to talk about Ilhan Omar. Come on. God, Austin.
I'm like a psychic.
Yeah, you're psycho.
A perfect psycho. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
you could call me psychotic if you want to.
Yeah, I will. I do often. When I tweet you daily.
Whatever.
I'm trying to get blocked.
I can't block Trump. You by law.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You're right. Can't
Trust me, I would have blocked you already if I could.
Ilhan Omar is literally being attacked by Donald Trump. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Trump posted a video of Omar talking about Muslims. And every time she said something in regards to Muslims and how we should be united and stuff like that, something from 9/11 appeared. Like they flash back to clips of planes going into the
Now you
towers.
Definitely know that Rudy Giuliani works for me.
You think it was Rudy that did this?
No.
It was too well produced for Rudy. No. But it's disturbing in so many ways because they would go back to Omar talking and then to another terrible incident in 9/11.
Look, she was the one Muslim I saw cheering in New Jersey on 9/11.
Yeah.
She was the one. They were all her. There were a bunch of people. There were just Ihan or Elan or whoever, Omar.
Ihan Omar.
She was just standing up there with clones of herself clapping after 9/11.
Right. Well, they all look alike to Trump, right? Isn't that a thing?
I mean, they all look alike if they're not orange.
Yeah.
So
there you
whatever.
Go. So I guess you and I look alike by that statement.
I don't see poor people.
But yeah, thanks. I'm okay if he doesn't see me because I'm poor. That's fine. So, all right, a couple facets to this story. A few of the senators and congressmen and women did go back and defend Omar, more so than the Palestine-Israel thing, because this one's kind of a dangerous attack. By putting out this video, you are 100% threatening her life. Either maybe not intentionally, but your supporters are going to see it as one way or another. She's a terrorist. That's what they're going to see.
Totally what they're going to see. Yeah.
And Ocasio-Cortez came to defend Omar. Bernie Sanders, And then there was a little bit of a backlash for those who did not say anything. I don't think Kamala Harris has yet to say anything. I think Cory Booker just came out in defense saying it's just really not defending her, but by saying just pretty much saying this is dangerous.
Yeah.
Like you're endangering a congresswoman's life.
Look, Timothy, listen to me.
Timothy? Listen, Austin.
Listen to
you
me.
could do your accent all you want, but call me Timothy one more fucking time.
You're not listening, Tomas. First thing.
I'm okay with that. That's fine.
Okay, Timothy, shut up now.
Oh my god! I hate you. Good. I'm glad I broke your stupid accent.
I want to get through my bit, okay?
Yeah.
Now, do you remember the really patriotic things I said after 9/11? Let me remind you.
Go ahead, remind me.
Yes, I totally saw those buildings come down. It's unbelievable that my building is now the tallest in New York City. The Trump Tower, tallest in New York City. After these attacks. So I guess there is a silver lining.
Well, there you go. Wow.
By the way, that was only like slightly paraphrased. That is almost exactly what he said.
The tallest building is not, though. That was definitely
him, yeah.
That was definitely him.
No. That was his first thought on 9/11 was that now I have the tallest. You know, and the funny thing is that wasn't even true.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't have the tallest building. The Empire State Building.
Yeah, Empire State Building would have been instantly. That's fucking nuts. Well, Omar did come out today on Saturday and what a statement on Twitter saying, and this is the tweet. This country was founded on the ideas of justice and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. But these core beliefs are under threat each and every day. We are under threat by an administration that would rather cage children than pass comprehensive immigration reform.
Unbelievable.
I like that tweet, and I'll tell you why. It's a direct attack to Donald Trump and to this video, but at the same time, it also talks about policy.
Yeah.
And anytime you can squeeze into your policy into a tweet like this, and especially one that people were looking for. I mean,
they were waiting for her response.
Her tweets typically get anywhere from like 16,000 to 30, sometimes 40,000. This one got 80,000 likes.
Wow.
In less than 9 hours. So people were waiting for this.
Yeah.
And it was a great response. It's not a violent response.
No, she's really becoming like a household name.
I know. I love her. I love her. The fact that she's still standing her ground on everything that she says, and not in a in-your-face way like AOC. AOC is like, bah! She's kind of just doing her thing.
Although I have to say, AOC hasn't taken on Israel-Palestine.
Not yet. She will. Give her time. She's working on other things right now. Or maybe she won't. Maybe this is Omar's
the new
thing.
Green Deal or whatever it's called.
Yeah. No.
I like the way that sounds. New Deal. I guess make a new deal.
We should mention this. This isn't part of the show notes or anything, but Nathan's Yahoo, he ended up winning the Israel election in a very close election.
Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, Nasty Yahoo. Yeah. I think that's what's Nasty Yahoo. Yahoo's nasty. No one.
It is. You should go to the comments section. Oh my god.
Oh, the articles the articles alone are the fucking stupidest articles in the world. And then their comments are just. Ridiculous.
They're more toxic than YouTube. Like,
I didn't realize how right wing people who read Yahoo News. There's so many right wingers.
I know.
Those comment sections are nasty.
You know why? Because they're still stuck with their browsers from like 30 years ago.
I know.
When Yahoo was a thing.
Don't you remember when Yahoo was having like a controversy with like, I don't know, finance or something? But whatever it was, the CEO of Yahoo stepped down. It was a female, and they interviewed her. And the first thing that she was asked is, "What are you going to do now that you're not in charge of Yahoo?" She's like, "I'm going to make a Gmail." That was such a good answer.
I thought she was going to be like, "I'm going to Disney World." It's like, you just got fired. It's not the Super Bowl.
Listen, this is something that is currently developing, so there's not too much. AOC is really going at people who are not defending her.
Good.
Which, it's awesome. It's awesome. And she's also retweeting and thanking everyone who is. Yeah. Like even Elizabeth Warren, Jay Inslee has come out and in defense, who also is running for president, isn't he? Or no, he said he's not.
It's hard to keep track, yeah.
I forgot to. There's so many fucking people running for president. Anyway, I just wanted to...
By the way, I'd like to take this time
Go ahead.
To
and
announce,
Joe Kennedy III.
Right, of course, Joe Kennedy III.
Well, which I'm surprised he's not running. Is he too young to run?
I think so. No, I think he's just waiting. I don't think he thinks this is his election
for the
cycle.
next time.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like he's going to be a popular candidate, even though I don't really care for him at all.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
he's not.
And he's not much different. Like his policies aren't different than Beto O'Rourke or Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'd like to take this moment to announce that I'm running for president in 2020.
Woo!
I'm running for president.
Yeah.
As a Democrat,
Woo!
so I will be the 420th Democrat.
420.
That wasn't planned.
No.
So I will have the exact same campaign.
Is Vermin
platform.
Supreme running for president again?
Yes, but only in that one state,
Yeah, that's
New
fine.
Hampshire. Yeah.
I want him to run.
Yeah, well, I will be debating him soon, but I will have the exact same policy platform as Bernie Sanders, but...
No, you can't go against... Whoa. If you're going to go up against Vernon Supreme, you need to have, like, unicorns for everyone. Something's got to be there.
That's what I said. I have Bernie's platform.
Or tacos. I love tacos, but I
tacos are
can't
good,
eat
yeah.
tacos anymore because I'm a vegetarian. Well, I can make a veggie...
Nonsense.
Can you make a veggie taco? Like a black bean...
If you use that,
Meat filler?
if you use that Beyond Meat, their taco
true.
meat's the best,
True.
and it's not really meat.
True. Beyond Meat was also your grinder name. I saw it. I'm just saying.
I'm a meat substitute.
I saw it. Ew. All right. Let's do a couple more quicker stories. Nothing to sit on for a while. Just let's comment on them as I go by. First one: Joe Manchin endorses.
By the way, nothing to sit on for a while was Tom's grinder.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So anything.
It doesn't take that long.
No. Minute tops. You don't need a night. You don't need a night. It could be a 15-minute break from work. Let's go. We got time. Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin. Now, anybody who just got a boner, now I said Joe Manchin 3 times and their boner's gone. Joe Manchin,
gonna have to go on an
4th time,
excavation just to find my penis now.
endorses who for re-election? Who do you think?
Trump. What?
No, come on, logically. Think logically. He's a Democrat, right? Who's he supporting for re-election?
For where? For president? What are you talking about?
I can't tell you. It's not for president.
'Cause I don't know.
It's for Senate. A senator. Fellow senator.
Susan Collins?
Oh, come on. You're not supposed to know the right answer.
Oh, that was the right answer?
Yeah. Oh, you guessed?
I did.
Did you really just guess?
I just guessed. I had no idea.
Oh.
I just thought...
Joe Manchin endorses Susan Collins for re-election.
Yeah, I was thinking, well, who's the most loud? Well, it's because I know why he did it too. Because there's like 5 people in the entire Senate that swing every vote, and and he's one of them. And Susan Collins.
Yep.
And,
the Alaskan woman, the Alaskan senator, Murkowski, something.
Lisa Murkowski. Yeah.
Murkowski. Yeah.
And
maybe here.
There are a couple others, but
yeah, these 2 are the prime ones right there.
and then there's sometimes Rand Paul because of his libertarian stuff.
Hello, how? So,
but the thing is, they want to keep that power.
Let me ask you something right now before we move on. All right.
Oh, Jones is one of them too, from Alabama.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. The Democrats. Joe Donnelly, I think, is another one.
Which sounds
Joe Donnelly?
so much.
Joe Donnelly?
That just sounds like
Donnelly.
One of those old timey, like bootleg criminal names.
Hey, what's your name? Joe Donnelly.
Donnelly's Speakeasy.
Here's the real question. The Democrats are so against Bernie and AOC, and we got to stop, giving money to grassroots. But we're okay with a Democrat endorsing a Republican for the Senate. Are you kidding?
Tom, but
how does that get by Perez?
Well, to be fair, Beto O'Rourke doesn't technically hold public office right now.
Why are we talking about Beto O'Rourke?
Oh, it's just because he also supported Republicans for re-election.
Oh. Well, okay. Well, then he's another asshole. But
so I'm sorry. So you weren't talking about Beto. You're talking about Joe Biden. Gotcha.
No, fuck.
Oh, but he also took.
All right,
he took money to support Republicans for office.
But I just don't understand. I don't get why one thing is okay, one thing which is promoting the Democratic Party is okay or is not okay,
because
and then
Bernie's not a Democrat. Okay.
Oh, but AOC isn't? She is.
Yeah, but she's from New York.
Okay, I'm done. Moving on. Next story. New Mexico is the 14th state to pledge its electoral votes to the winner of the popular vote. So
Good.
now 14 states are in on this.
Yes, all the blue ones.
Yeah.
So that'll make zero difference.
All the
Awesome.
blue ones. But, again, it's a start, Austin. We're in
Isn't New Mexico really a blue state all the time?
No, I don't think all the time, but I think recently it's been in the Democratic hands.
Well, that might be something then.
But listen, we're in a weird time politically.
So
obviously, a lot of things are changing one way or another. Districts are being realigned for the first time. Gerrymanders kind of being booted out. I know.
What?
This 14 states
no,
already.
That's specifically why I put Kavanaugh there, so that wouldn't happen.
Well, listen, we don't need to talk about Kavanaugh. All right.
Damn, I knew he'd fuck me over if I didn't keep an eye on him.
Yeah. Is he still a thing? Is he still there? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he'll be there forever. Because that's how this country works. We reward the worst people in society.
Yep.
For no good reason.
We have two more Democrats running for office at the time of this recording. One is Mike Gravel.
Oh, yeah.
88-year-old Mike Gravel, who became kind of a progressive hero in 2008 when he was on stage just saying whatever the fuck he wanted to say with little care about
For some
what
reason,
people
apparently
thought.
we like our men old.
I guess. But he's another one of these guys. He's been championing the same things for most of his career. He's a really anti-war candidate. That's his whole thing. Anti-imperial or anti-monarchy. Is that what you were saying?
Anti-imperialism.
Imperialism. He has no interest in actually winning the presidency, though.
It'd be funny if you were anti-monarchy.
He said that he wants to make it to the first debates, say what he has to say,
Make debates
and then
great
he's gonna drop out. So pretty much, we just want him to get on the debate stage so he can champion the ideas in a way that
at war. I know,
right, in a way that Bernie and those other candidates who actually have a chance of winning cannot do. He can just go out there and be a grumpy old 88-year-old man who's anti-war and say and call. If Joe Biden's on that stage, it could be like, "Oh yeah, you warmonger." Bernie can't necessarily do that. He can, but it wouldn't be advised.
Yeah, Bernie's gonna have
Gravel
to go with
can.
something like, "What? You wanted to work with segregationists?"
Yeah. Oof, that's another one that came out just I think today or yesterday. And then the other person who's running.
I don't want them on our buses.
No, I'll support them everywhere else. She's not there.
I'll smell you if you're close.
Austin, what's this guy's last name? Wayne. The guy that's running from Florida.
Oh, yes.
Because his website is just Wayne for America, and everywhere I'm looking, meet Wayne. Here, I'll find it out right now. Or maybe not. What? Where's this fucking...
Look,
he signed it as Wayne.
Okay, here's the thing.
Is he like Bono?
No.
He doesn't have a last name.
We have an influx of politicians with no last names, like Jeb !
So this is Wayne.
Yeah! Exclamation point.
Come on. Nowhere on his website does it say what his name is. I can't.
And they made fun of Malcolm X.
Here it is. Wayne Messam. Messam.
He's from down south. It has to be Messam.
Messam.
Yeah.
I'm messing with him. But he's a centrist. Okay. By all
apart from
standards.
apparently one policy.
Which is what we're going to talk about briefly. It's the number one thing that's on his priorities list is resolving the student debt crisis, a second chance at the American dream. That's what he's calling it. I won't read the entire introduction; it's long, but I'll tell you what his solution is, and I'll read this paragraph.
Do it.
It's under debt cancellation, a straightforward solution. The U.S. Department of Education owns about 95% of America's student loan debt, making the mechanics of a complete debt cancellation for a majority of the loans relatively straightforward. Under this plan, his plan, federal student loans would be canceled in full, borrowers would receive confirmation that the debt was forgiven within 60 days. The government would work with the Federal Reserve for private lenders to identify all privately held student loans within 3 years. Lenders would submit proof of student loan debt directly to the Department of Education. Once that's approved, the Treasury would pay off the loan in full. The lender and Treasury would both provide the debt holder with the proof that the debt was canceled. The Department of Education would also promote the program of the Office of Federal Student Aid, and that would work with individuals in holding private debt to ensure that their debt is forgiven. The goal is to zero out all student loan debt, no matter what the source. And again, he goes into how he'll pay for, or how this will happen, the finances of it. And you could go to his website, WayneForAmerica.com, if you want to read his full plan. And we're not by any means saying we support him, because his other policies are very centrist.
Garbage.
Yeah, garbage. But this is a cool little thing. What do you make of this, Austin?
I think it's great.
Is that your comprehensive analysis?
Look, there's nothing to comprehend. We are this country is being, crushed by the weight of the most giant student loan debt in history, and unlike the housing debt that helped fuel the last recession, student loan debt does not have the same outs as the housing one does. Right. It cannot be discharged in bankruptcy because of people like Joe Biden.
It cannot be created or destroyed.
Yes, like matter. So the consumers don't have the same protections that they had in 2008 when the housing market crashed. And even then they didn't have very many protections.
Word.
So this is just common sense policy. And it would cost less than just a couple months of the quantitative easing that we paid after.
Yeah, I closed the website. But, you're right.
Yeah, it's about $1.5 trillion in debt, which is, you could cover that by just reversing the Trump tax cuts.
Right,
Boom.
and reducing parts of the military budget, which I think I actually just looked this up today because I was having a debate with one of my friends, almost kind of former friends after today. But $695 billion is, I think, what the tax or the spendage for the military was.
It's more than that now.
In 2000, yeah. And this, I think, was in 2016.
It's getting close to $1 billion.
No.
Or, I mean, $1 trillion, rather.
$1 trillion, yeah.
So you cut that in half, which would still be, I think, like 50% more than almost any other country in the world.
Well, currently, if you take the next 7 countries and combine them, it about equals what we have.
Yeah.
About.
So.
Yeah.
So we could easily cut that and raise soldier pay like we talked about in the last episode. And then simultaneously help forgive student loan debt. And then could you imagine, do you know anybody who doesn't have student loan debt?
No.
Me neither.
Other than people who didn't go to college, but they don't really count in this situation, in this scenario.
And
I don't.
If you look at the number, there's so many more people who have, I know a couple people didn't go to college either and don't have any student loan debt, but they're so outweighed by the ones who did that there needs to be something done, because these people, they cannot move on with their lives.
Right.
They're all stuck, if not totally dependent on, somewhat dependent on their family. Or they're just barely making it by because so much of their money is just going to these loans. So there this would be the biggest economic stimulus probably ever given directly to the people.
So why don't more candidates fall or adapt that policy? Why?
Because if this were to happen, the banks would not make the interest money that they were planning on, and thus it would cut their profits by a significant margin.
Okay.
And that's why. Okay. And those banks give a lot of money to people like the presidential candidates so that things like this don't happen.
Okay.
I think, and to be honest, like I was telling you before, this plan says that we would pay back all of the lenders. And I think the moral thing to do would be to not do that.
Yeah, they've already fucking sucked dry everyone's bank account for many years. Because
I think if you look at a standard private student loan, it's the first 5 years you don't actually pay on your principal. You're just paying interest.
Right. Yeah.
You're paying interest for 5 years. No other loan has that.
It's crazy.
And
it's
so
crazy.
they've made their money, so they shouldn't get paid back. And if they fold, maybe good.
Yep. Yeah, I'm interested to see if he makes it to the debate stage. Will he bring that up?
Yeah, and that's almost a definite no, because nobody knows who the fuck he is.
It's too late, first of all, for him. If he wanted to, he should have, declared in December.
Mm-hmm.
He would have at least had a little bit of a head start. But there has too many people to pick from. And to be honest, I didn't even hear this until you mentioned it. Like, not even Twitter announced it. Even when, like, Gravel
I only
announced,
happened to notice there's an article.
Right.
When I was scrolling around.
Even when Gravel announced, and he has no intention on actually running for president.
Yeah.
That was on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, I saw that all over Twitter. But anyway, I got one more, and it's with it's what do we call it? What's happening with AOC?
What's happening with AOC? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what's happening with AOC. Paul Ryan is happening with AOC, but not necessarily the way you think. Paul Ryan said that AOC, Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, ignored his advice to, quote, just take it easy, end quote, as a new member of Congress.
Why wouldn't she listen to an annoying grifter? That's crazy.
Yeah, why would you listen to the person who's, leaving his job as the Republican Speaker of the House?
Yeah.
Why
would you listen to the person who left his job because it's too hard for him?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? That's like, shit, man. His exact quote, I don't think she really listened to a thing I said, just take it easy. Just watch things for a while. Paul Ryan said.
And of course he said that because he doesn't want her policies to be implemented.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why a Republican,
you need to take it easy.
If Bernie Sanders told her to take it easy on your first year,
which there's no way he would have.
No, but if he did, because maybe he just knows something, the ins and outs of Congress a little bit more.
Well, he also was a representative in the House for a long time.
Right. So if he said that, then there'd be a little bit more like, oh, maybe I should calm it down. But when people like that don't tell you to calm down, and they're telling you go in with this fire and represent your people, the people who are voted you in, and that's what she's doing. And Paul Ryan didn't want her to do that. Why? Because her policies directly affect or endanger the Republicans. Mm-hmm. And good.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I've never been more assured of her judgment than hearing that she ignored anything that Paul Ryan had to say.
I know. She went on Twitter and responded by saying this. Paul Ryan and I have something in common. Both our fathers died when we were teens. Paul Ryan received Social Security payments that allowed him to go to college and later Congress. My family received them too, but I shut the door behind. But I don't shut the door behind me. That would be un-American. That was her response to that.
Very smart. And yes, I wish more people would say that. Mm-hmm. Like we did a whole episode, not a whole episode, but we did a whole segment on Paul Ryan talking about how the only reason he could survive is because of Social Security. The very thing that he wants to get rid of for everybody else.
I know. But again, it's one of those situations like we've had this conversation as well when a Republican's son or daughter comes out as gay or lesbian, and then all of a sudden their policies are like more toward like pro LGBT.
But the thing is, this is the opposite.
I know.
This is like if your son or daughter came out and now you're more anti-gay.
But my point was the Republicans just don't care about things unless they're directly involved at the time. He is no longer receiving Social Security or any kind of assistance, right?
Well, he draws a salary from the taxpayer, but...
Well, yeah, but he doesn't need that. Let's be real.
Which he should because he's a lifelong public servant. Somehow he's made a lot of money in the private sector.
Wait, you don't make near $1 billion? You don't make millions and millions and millions of dollars as a congressman?
No. I believe you make 120 something thousand if you're in the House and 170 if you're in the Senate.
Man, that's like poverty. How do they live on that? Anyway.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying this whole time.
That ends the news. Should we take a break?
Yes.
All right, let's take a break.
And we'll
have
some
come back.
We'll
have our final thoughts.
Yeah.
And so ends our big dumb show. Austin. Oh, Austin.
What?
Wherefore art thou, Austin? What are your final thoughts?
Oh, well, let's see. Okay, so Bernie's a millionaire now.
Yep, so we can't support
I
him.
should be outraged, but I already knew that because I know how to read, so...
I'm outraged. I'm outraged.
Well, Tom
I don't
doesn't
know how to
read.
I don't know how to read, so I'm outraged.
I know, that's why you and the president have so much in common.
We do. Yeah. We're both very handsome men. And we apparently only last a couple of minutes each. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a thing I already knew, so it's hard for me to be angry about it. And if anybody had paid attention, they would also already know this. This is just common sense.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
exactly. So that I don't understand that. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, same homie.
Despite the facetious arguments from certain annoying podcasts. So I think that's almost a non-issue.
Wow.
Wow. Yes, it's very passive aggressive. That's
Passive aggressive. I think that was just aggressive. I don't know about the passiveness in that one, but anyway, I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a centrist, just say it. Now I've lost my train of thought because they're making me angry all over again. Like I'm reliving that annoying.
It's angry
argument.
all over. It's not dumb all over. It's angry all over now. Yeah.
So annoying. But yes. Also,
Austin, I got to admit, before you go on, keep your train of thoughts. I love when you go crazy on Twitter.
I know it doesn't happen very often.
No,
but
there was a time where both of us would partake in this.
Yeah.
And I do not like debates. I never ever liked confrontation. I never liked debates. Just recently, I was like, I'll tell you this story in a second. But I was asked to join the debate team at my college, and I was like, no,
that sounds
I'm not
frightening
interested
for you if you don't like debates.
I'm not interested in this at all.
Yeah.
So to see you go on Twitter and just be like, no, you fucking idiot. Love it. Anyway, go on.
I know. They really get my ire up on Twitter sometimes. Like, I don't know why. Because it's just so illogical.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just Twitter has a special way of doing that to me. I'm not sure why. So every once in a while, Twitter gets a mighty tirade. But
and you could join our Twitter to see those tirades by going to
sometimes they're pretty funny.
twitter.com/DoubleOverPod.
Yeah.
Or just look up the tag at DoubleOverPod. Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Of course, this week Trump threatened Ilhan Omar in a very visceral and direct way, which any other president, this would be grounds for impeachment. But not this one, because there's so many things he's done that are grounds for impeachment. Tom's trying to distract me right now. It's not funny.
No, I'm not. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's no proof of that, is there?
Okay, Tom. Of course, Bernie's had a bunch of rallies so far through the early primary states. So I think that's looking good. And the crowd level's been very good, which is something Cory Booker can't say even in his hometown.
Go on.
Yes. So I think the primary season is going to be very interesting. And of course, AOC, not like we just talked about, not taking any direction from Paul Ryan.
Yep.
Very smart move, not listening to Paul Ryan. I think more Americans should do that, yeah. So, and so that's that. And Bernie apparently is going to be in Bethlehem on Monday. So Tom could even go see the town hall if he wanted, and maybe we'll get some reports from in Bethlehem.
I'm going to try. I got to. Apparently, they haven't even announced where the location is yet, which is crazy because it's in fucking 2 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to go. I've never seen Bernie, so it'd be kind of cool. He's been one of my heroes, my idols since I was a little kid.
His rallies are so much fun.
And that's the thing too. Like I've been telling people this for so long. I've known who Bernie is most of my life because like you grew up as a kind of a libertarian. Or as a libertarian, I shouldn't say kind of.
Well, when I was younger, I was actually more just a right wing
Oh,
conservative.
So, and then, well, I guess when I knew you more, you were
libertarian
more
was an
libertarian.
improvement from where I grew up.
Yeah.
And then I completed the process.
But like, I've always surrounded myself with really left wing people like Howard Zinn. Bernie Sanders was definitely one of them. And when he decided to announce his candidacy in 2000, and I guess it would be 15, I was like, oh, it's fucking about time. I've been waiting my entire life for this.
Yes.
So, it's one of those situations. So I'd love to go see him. That'd be really fun.
Yeah,
It'd be really fun.
I mean, unfortunately, you wouldn't be seeing a rally. His rallies are so much fun.
But town halls are fine.
Yeah.
You get to hear questions presented by a Republican. See how he responds to that. Yeah, see how he responds to that,
But yeah.
I'd also like to see what Bethlehem and how they respond to him.
It's interesting.
Now, I don't live in Bethlehem, but close enough. I know the area fairly well, and I feel like they'd be pretty pro-Bernie.
I think so too, but it depends on who they pull, because if it's Fox News viewers, that's not going to be the case.
No.
So.
But yeah, so I was asked to join the debate team because of the political science thing, and then the professor found out, and I had a really strong debate with my one professor who was just making a fool of himself. I'll just go ahead and say he was just making a fool of himself, supporting like Andrew Jackson, and I kind of got tired of listening to it, so I was
Did you tell him that Trump also supports Andrew Jackson?
I did mention that, yeah, and that was one of the first things I let off, because he says I'm impartial. I'm like, no one's impartial. He's either you have an opinion on him, so don't tell me that you don't. If you're going to tell me you like Andrew Jackson, I don't need to really know who you like. I know who you like. No. And the debate went on, and there was another teacher in there at the time, and that was the debate professor, or the professor, one of the guys there, or one of the people that are in the debate team. I don't know. Ages, there's so many different ages, so I can't tell if he was a professor or a kid. But I was like, no, I'm not interested. Not interested in that kind of thing. Because like the other thing about these debate teams is like you get a topic presented to you and you have to debate it.
Yeah, and
whether
you're told
you agree with it or not.
You're told which side you have to debate. Yeah, that's bullshit.
No, this is what would happen if they're like, oh, you have to go and present a pro-life position. I'd go up there and I'd be like, by the way, I'm supposed to be defending pro-life, but fuck that shit. That's what I would do, and then I'd lose.
That reminds me of what was it? The opening of John Oliver's segment on psychics. He's like, I'm not here to debate whether psychics are real or not, because they aren't. See, no debate necessary.
There's no debate. That was a good episode.
Yeah. So I feel that that would be. I couldn't defend a position that I don't believe. So
no, I can't either.
So that would just be like, I'm wrong. There it is.
I'm not. There are some people who are really good at playing devil's advocate, and they like truly don't believe in the topic. They're just trying to poke holes into arguments. People are really good at that, especially political science professors. They're really good
that's kind of
at
their
being
job.
impartial. Yeah. But I am not good at that. I have my views, and I'm really I strongly believe those views.
No.
I don't want to defend my opposing view. It just goes against everything that I fought for, even if it's just for a debate team and whatnot. Like they were going to debate, like the recent debate, they were going to debate not Medicare for all, but improving and expanding Obamacare, making it more affordable. Like, yeah, I'm for that in comparison to the opposer, which is, like not Obamacare.
Is it Ben Shapiro?
But I don't want to defend.
Have you heard my wife? She's a doctor.
Oh, is she?
She's a doctor, and now she would be a slave. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Just because you married a black person doesn't mean you're not a racist. Just want to let you know.
Is Ben Shapiro's wife black?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought that's what you were getting at.
No,
because you said slave.
No, that she's a doctor, and that for some reason the right thinks that if government funds, that you are like demanding their service, and thus they become slaves, even though they get paid and nothing would change for them.
I got you. I was trying to think, and this is a dangerous thing to do when you try to think like a right winger. It's like, because I could see a right winger making that point. It's like, oh, I married a black woman, and it's just to think about it, like she would be a slave in 200 years from, like.
And it's so weird because usually they spend so much of their time defending slavery. So bizarre. Yeah.
Oh, Ben.
But the thing is, like, then our police officers and school teachers, are they slaves?
Yes.
It's like,
Teachers are. Yeah.
yes.
Teachers are.
Yeah.
Teachers are. They're slaves who love their job.
But even they have
Most of the time
they have a union and time off.
True. True.
It's like even like blue collar workers don't even get that. So
Yeah, they're not slaves. They're not.
no. It's like, so I just don't understand why that would make doctors any different. It's just a stupid argument.
It wouldn't. It's a dumb argument. It's the same thing where like people say, "Oh, the medical lines in Canada are ridiculously long." From every Canadian I've ever spoken to, people who live in Toronto,
Yeah.
the biggest city or one of the biggest cities, and they're like, "Not really. Sometimes, but there's lights in my hospital here."
Well, and not only that, here's the thing. In America, if you don't have health insurance, you don't even have to stand in line. You just get to die.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
Crazy.
Like every country rations their care in some way. We choose to do it here by how much money you make. That's what we choose. Yeah.
Which is absurd. But anyway, these are topics that we can talk about another time. Anyway, you got anything else to add?
No, not other than that. I'm curious to see if the tax return release will quiet some of the centrists down. Spoiler alert, it won't.
It won't.
I'm also curious to see
might.
like how close his tax release is to the Mueller report, which apparently is going to be released soon.
Oh, okay.
And so if that happens, I don't even know if anybody will be talking about his taxes.
True.
Which would be crazy. He'd be like, I finally released him, and now you guys are going to talk about him.
And to be fair, like, what did they say? Even Obama didn't release him until like a couple of months before the election.
Well, Hillary said she wouldn't release him until she was assured the candidacy.
Yeah. So like everyone's just trying so hard to find something wrong with Bernie.
Yeah.
Keep looking.
Yeah.
Because you haven't found it yet.
Honestly, and I'll give you some advice from a brand perspective. The only things you really got going for you are age.
Yeah.
So if you're going to attack them, that's the best one to use because
and
the
that's
rest
not
are
even a
just
good
gonna,
one.
No, but the rest
And
are going to
that's-
fall flat. At least that one has some staying power.
And you know why that's not a good one? For a couple of specific reasons. One, because Trump's only a few years younger, and two, Biden's only a few years younger.
1 year younger.
So
1 year younger.
yeah, there, perfect. So if you're going to use Bernie's age against him, okay, I can see why you would. But first of all, you don't know who his running mate's going to be. It could be like a Tulsi Gabbard who's 37 years old.
No,
You know?
no.
It could be somebody like that who, all right, will keep most of those progressive ideals going and won't die in office. Plus, the other thing is, Bernie is constantly being shown playing basketball with kids.
No.
He's a fit 87-year-old or 77, whatever his age, 77?
Yeah.
77, 78-year-old man. Trump is not.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
So we can't use age.
It's just that's their most effective.
I had this argument with my dad.
But it's their
My dad-
most effective critique, and if they want to hurt him, that's the one they should use.
But my dad is a left wing, like a progressive for the most part, and I love Bernie's platform, but his age is a problem.
No, it's not.
And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. It would be if like Mike Gravel.
People should.
That
Yeah,
might
that
be a
would
problem.
Yeah. But
he's 88.
But people should look up how old Nelson Mandela was when he was elected, because he was pretty fucking old.
But the people who are going to look that up are the Bernie supporters.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying.
Who don't need to know.
Yeah. But it's all.
It's
It's
just
nonsense.
frustrating. It's a dumb argument, and I hate it. And it's like, who cares? Who cares about age? It's about the message that it's your platform and the message that you're bringing.
Exactly.
I don't care. If Bernie wasn't running, I wouldn't be looking for the oldest white man.
No.
It just so happens that the one that has the best message is the oldest white man.
No.
So I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening.
That being said, because I know the centrists are going to complain.
Oh God, Austin, stop picking it.
That being said, if he doesn't win the nomination, we'll vote for whoever's there. just to put that whole thing, because
We've said that so many times.
I
so
know,
we don't
but I
need
feel like
say
I
it
have to
anymore.
keep saying it because that's always the first question. Oh, well,
Nah.
we vote. Yes, I will. I will vote for whoever it is.
Yeah.
So-
Well, because the Bernie or bust movement, and it makes like apparently all Bernie supporters have to be part of the Bernie or bust movement, which is not the case. Not the case.
Yeah, but the thing
I'm
is
not
that-
going to vote for a third party candidate. I'm not going to not vote.
But more voters left Hillary to vote for McCain than Bernie voters left to vote for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So this idea that it's a unique phenomenon among this one candidate is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Because it's not. He's like he had one of the least amount of defections.
It's dumb. It's dumb. And because there was a little bit of Bernie's support, there were also Republicans who didn't like Trump and actually liked Bernie's ideals. And then when they had a choice between Hillary or Trump, they went back to the Republican.
No, of course.
That doesn't accurately depict Bernie supporters.
No.
But it also shows that Bernie has more of an appeal toward everyone else.
And Bernie also pulled a lot of votes from the Green Party that went back to the Green Party after he was out.
And the Libertarian. He grabbed Libertarians too. Because a lot of the messages, especially social.
Not the way to say that.
He grabbed a lot of Libertarians. Grabbed them hard.
Said it, Joe Biden. And sniffed him a little bit.
And with that, we're done. We're done with that. Nope.
You smell like
Nope.
you like free markets.
Stop. Thanks for listening. Have a great week. We'll be back. Hopefully a little less creepy episode. Hopefully a little less creepy. Probably not. No promises. Have a good week.
Oh, Sniff a Libertarian, my new cover
Have
band.
a good week. Sniff a Libertarian. Once again, thank you so much for listening. As always, you can find us on Spreaker.com/DumbleOverPod. We're also available on iTunes. Just look up DumbleOverPod. We are on all the social medias, starting with Twitter at DumbleOverPod, Facebook at DumbleOverPod, and of course, there's Instagram. And you guessed it, it's at DumbleOverPod. We are also on Patreon, so check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/DumbleOverPod. And if you're interested in buying some merch with some special logos, you can check that out at tpublic.com/user/DumbleOverPod. Thank you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.